the night for my investment in the world of greyhound racing to pay off. It'll soon be time for summer sports, of course, but do you remember how it was only a few weeks ago when just looking out of the window made you shiver? I've come to a venue just a few miles from Birmingham where they're packing them in on a weekday evening in February. The temperature outside is well below zero, but nearly 2,000 people are paying £2 each for the privilege of sitting next to a sheet of ice. This is Solihull Ice Rink, and I'm here for the clash of the giants. Solihull Barons against their friendly local rivals and just up the road, Telford Tigers. There's no love lost between these two teams. In fact, even the directors have been known to fight amongst themselves. But at least there's no aggro amongst the fans. Ice hockey has a reputation as a violent sport, but only on the ice. In the visitors' changing room, Telford prepare to do battle. They're said to be a hard, mean team. And there's an added edge to this match because some of their players used to play for Solihull. The men leading the Tigers are Canadians, but I suppose you could call them adopted Midlanders. Captain, Mark Budds, and player director, the Iron Man, Chuck Taylor. They're a little bit afraid you're going to give them a beating in more ways than one tonight. Now, you guys wouldn't do that, would you?
No, that's not our style. Not at all.
Now, what's the tactics for tonight? Because you're going to have to turn them over if you want to place in the final, aren't you?
Well, as you probably would have guessed, ice hockey is definitely a physical contact sport. So
there's no excuse for actually fighting, though, is he?
No, fighting there'll be no part of that. We don't have, like Chuck said, we don't have to resort to sort of tactics. We'll go out and bump and grind, dump and chase, and just have a good old time.
So there's going to be no punch-ups. This is going to be a nice, smooth ice hockey match, right?
Well, it takes two to tangle, so we'll see what happens.
What do you about your chances tonight?
Good, always good. You know, they're 50-50 at the beginning of the game, and like, you know, anything can happen in the game of ice hockey, and when the final whistle goes, hopefully we'll all be on top.
Chuck, the Barons telling me they're going to stuff you out of sight tonight.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens when we get out there. I don't like making predictions like that, because anything, like Mark said, anything can happen. I mean, we're going to go out there and we're going to try our best to win the game, and that's all anybody can ask of anybody. So, I mean, our guys are keen to go out and win the game, so we're going to give them a go, no problem.
It may seem that part of the game is to look fierce. After all, a 7-stone weakling can be intimidating with all that padding, even if it is held together with suspenders. Oh, fellas, come on. But the dressing up isn't just to cover the blushes. Once the game starts, these boys will need all the protection they can get. Out on the ice, there's entertainment for the crowd, provided by supporters of the home team. It's all part of the build-up to the big match. In the Solihull Barons changing room, there's a certain tension in the air. The team is coached by a Geordie, Moose Finlayson, but the captain is another Canadian, Doug McDonald. These guys are really spitting blood and wanting to get after you. You're not afraid you're going to get knocked off the ice tonight, are you?
No, not at all. I think we've intimidated them in our last games. We're certainly not worried about them at all.
Moose, this isn't going to be a bloodbath, is it?
No, nowhere near that. There's no way it's going to get out of hand. We've got too many important league games still to play.
You're not going to take it a bit too easy, Doug, are you? Saying, oh, well, the cup doesn't matter. We don't want anybody injured. We'll give Telford a bone to chew over.
No, not at all. Anytime we get to play against our rivals, Telford, it's certainly an important game. And we're going to go out and prove to them once again that we're the better squad.
Now, I know they're a bit the needle with the directors, and I know there's needle with the coaches and the players. You talk to the guys after the match, Doug?
Oh, yeah. Once the game's over, you've got no bones to pick with them. You just sort of let what happens on the ice do the talking.
Outside, the fans are getting rested. But it isn't long before darkness heralds the entry of the Solihull Barons. Once they're on the ice, the lights go on and both teams start to loosen up. There's barely time for a quick prayer before play begins. Face-off, the ice hockey version of kick-off. And now it's every man for himself. Take no prisoners is the key phrase now. It's enough to bring tears to your eyes. That's what the fans have come to see. Eventually, the goals start coming. First blood to the Telford Tigers. but it doesn't take the Barons long to equalise. And soon there's more where that came from. The players do get a break though, 2 short rest periods during the match. But even though Solihull's winning, the coach has a few choice words to say in the changing room.
We're still getting in that syndrome of everybody wants to score the goal and do it on their own. We've got guys open wide on the point. We had a guy in the high slot area, and Doug decides to walk around the back of the net and try to stuff it in the other end. Use the guys that are open. Don't get excited out there, guys. Just calm down. It's a hockey game. We're not out there brawling.
Come on, boys. Let's go. Come on. Come on now. It's good period. It's good period out there.
Hey, that was a bit rough, Doug.
Yeah, it was.
They lost it cool.
Well, that's their fault. They're taking stupid penalties. It's going to cost them the game in the end.
You reckon you're on top now because you didn't start off a bit slow. In fact, you played like a bloody idiot for the first few minutes, huh?
Well, it took us a little bit of time to get our legs going, but we're proving that we're the better team now, and we're just going to take advantage of the penalties now and go out and win the game.
There's just time to examine the cuts and bruises. Even clouted with a hockey stick can leave a nasty mark. And off we go again. In each match, there are 3 20-minute periods of play. At the start of the final period, the Barons are still holding the lead over the Tigers. The Telford team had only themselves to blame. A theory I put to the editor of Ice Hockey News Review, Vic Batchelder.
That's very true, Tony, but at the same time, hockey is a very physical game. It gets very het up out there, very hot. A lot can happen. You get a stick in the ribs. You don't always stop to think what you're doing in retaliation, and by the time you start, it's very difficult to stop. Once the referee's seen it, you know you're going to go.
There's really nothing Telford can do now, is there, except hang on in there and hope that the score isn't too embarrassing.
Hockey is a very funny game, you know. You can get 3 goals, 4 goals scored in the space of 60 seconds. So anything can happen, but I would figure, taking into account, as I said, the fact that Taylor is going to be tired, Budge is going to he's been overworked as well, they're going to find it very difficult, but it's possible.
Sure enough, Telford scored. Vic, we got a game of it now, 6-4, Telford really steaming.
That's right, Taylor came back in the ice, he's got a goal, that makes all the difference in the world. I said to you just now, 2 goals in hockey is nothing. The game can change in seconds, so we've got a hell of a game going.
You don't feel the Barons may be complacent, resting, taking things easy?
Oh no, I think they've gone all out. They want to win this one. There's no way they want to lose to Telford.
Vic was right. No complacency here. Oh, yes! What a goal! That's the end of Telford now, Vic, I reckon.
No, the tone of the game never over until the last hoop to go.
You're a supreme optimist, not like me. In this case, the Butler prediction was the right one. The time was called. The Barons showed the Tigers a clean pair of heels.